I've been out here, it'll be 33 years in November. My husband was born and raised out here, so he's been out here 58 years. The land has been in the family for 135 years, obtained in the April 22nd, 1889 land run.
So what's your reaction to the land annexation plan being proposed?
Um, first of all, it's Oklahoma City, so the taxes and the revenue all will go to Oklahoma City, not Canadian County, and I'm a Canadian County citizen. Two, what we've been told, which is multiple things, and I've provided that info for you, is that they haven't been honest with us about what it is. And we were given deadlines. The first one was December 23rd, the second was December 27th, third was January 1st. Then we had a April 1st deadline. We had a May 1st deadline. And when we did meet with them, they wanted us out of our property by September 1st of 2024.
How hard is it to kind of hear that when you've lived here for decades?
Well, I think, I never planned on moving. I mean, we have a memorial garden. My mother took her last breath here in the house that I took care of. My in-laws, like I said, have lived here. It was shocking and stuff. And I think, it might have been a better approach if they would have come and been honest instead of the rigmarole that they put us through and still are putting us through. And the honesty and the secrecy and that's the biggest issue. You talk about not wanting to trust government. This is a classic example of that.
I want you to explain to me a little bit of what you shared with me, those texts and those emails that you received from Sewell and the city.
So the first letter was a certified letter received from Pinnacle, which is a kind of a land management corporation. They were putting out feelers and sent, at least that I know of, 18 letters out to property owners around here to buy their property. And that was received the Saturday after Thanksgiving. So November, I don't know, 28th or whatever. I can't remember the exact date. I have it for you. Then through some strange circumstances and God things, the Alliance president ran into somebody that we know that we had told what was going on, and he got hold of my husband's phone number and started texting us, and we received texts saying that they wanted to talk to us about the selling of our land and that they had great plans to bring something to Canadian County. Again, this is Oklahoma City, that is doing this bidding, not Canadian County or the city of El Reno or the city of Yukon or the city of Mustang or the city of Union City. So again, false pretenses. Then we met with a lawyer to discuss our options. Our lawyer met with their lawyer, and then we met on December 20th, and they gave us their presentation of what their story was at that time. And they told us that, again, that it was for a mega plant. They said it was a household name. But then we've heard, when the original Pinnacle letter came, it was said for the CE Page Improvement Project is what it was for. But then when we get to the presentation here in December, less than a month later, it is now for a mega plant. It's a household name was all they could say. It was secrecy. EV plant, battery plant, just things. Possibility of the Oklahoma County jail site, we've heard. Again, we've heard that they want to move the airport runway to the east. We've heard they want to move it to the west. In the presentation, they did tell us that they wanted to close Gregory Road from Route 66. I'll say at least from the I-40 to Reno. And as there's a creek, as you probably saw, coming across, that it floods. So that means we won't have a way to get out of our homes when it floods, because, like I said, they're closing this off. We're landlocked. I mean, we're flooded in or snowed in when it snows because this road does drift. And Oklahoma City, unfortunately, doesn't have the resources to maintain the roads that they have. It's being the second largest city in landmass in the United States, and they're just obtaining more, and yet don't have any more resources to it. So you think we're going to get taken care of when we're just a measly, 5 families? It's not going to happen. So.
And if you don't mind me asking, I don't mean to put you on blast in front of this community, but how much did they offer you for your land?
I do not know the last proposal and stuff, I'm being honest. I'm just going to tell you, the last offer was $15,000 an acre, and then our house, which was nothing. So.
And I don't mean to call you out. I noticed you're getting a little bit emotional. Obviously, you have a lot of connections and What are you going through right now?
Like I said, this is my community. We got a church here. My husband has his business established here. My friends, my family. I actually was born and raised in Edmond, Oklahoma. And, when we decided to build a house or buy a house, we chose to move out here because this is what we want in country life. Be able to see the stars at night and, not have neighbors and stuff. I lost my train of thought. When, but now to be told that, we're going to have a concrete plant with lights and trucks and, what all over else, airplanes coming in, I don't know. Again, and I know that, and a part of them that they don't know I think they've had some possible feelers of what it might be, but, they don't know what it's going to be either. So they can't tell me what's going to be here. And I know that they're saying that anybody could come in and buy this land, and it could be a pot plant, it could be, anything like that. But nobody had. And the lady that owns this property, she does not live here. She has no family. So when they offered her, some carrots, she took them. And I think she got robbed in the deal too, because, I think she thought, and when they first approached us, they were giving us a land offer of what 2017 was. And they said that was a compatible price or a fair price and stuff. And I'm like, well, it's 2023. And if you haven't noticed, that land's gone up and God ain't making any more.
And I noticed there's a lot of people here with you today. You're
Yes.
kind of explaining to me why, you wanted this many people to be here. Just tell me about that.
Well, kind of backstory. Years ago, this was El Reno land. And at some point, I don't know how many years, the city or the Banner Co-op and the people that lived in the Banner, and it's a 3 square mile area, went to the city of Reno, paid to have it de-annexed and stuff, and attempted to become a town of their own like Union City and stuff. I think the requirements are you have to have a post office to be a quote town and have a zip code. The Postal Service denied that request. So this has been an incorporated land since then. But this affects the farming community. These people are farmers, cattle raisers, people that, they chose not to live in the city. They chose to live in the country. And now you're bringing the city to us. This also falls under, Oklahoma City has a plan that this is actually agricultural preserve. And they're going against their actual plan in changing this now. As of right now, when they annex it, the zoning is still agricultural preserve. But their intent is to make it a heavy industrial.
And I wanted to show you, we've been talking to Kenny the past couple days. He shared a statement with us. I'll just adjust to this lighting. My phone's
That's okay.
But he says, we offered them, I showed him the documents that you shared with me.
Mm-hmm.
He said, we offered them money. They declined, so we moved on. We're not purchasing their property. And then he adds, we've been very upfront with them that we've been trying to put together a really big site. The Planning Commission said in the past that we had a 1,300-acre site. We've been very upfront with folks. We've sent offers to folks. Sometimes they don't respond. We've sat with people, visited their homes. But like I said, if folks don't want to sell, they don't have to. That particular family doesn't have to. And then he adds, I understand she's upset that she doesn't want it in her backyard, but we've been very upfront about it. We're trying to put this together for when future opportunities come. And then lastly, he says, we're not making it a secret. We're looking at it as a standpoint of Oklahoma City is growing, and we want to be ready when that opportunity comes.
Just a moment. Can I address that? Have they been honest with us and upfront with us about any of this people that have been contacted?
Nor have they visited in home.
No.
I'd be glad. I would be glad to address
So
some of that.
again, that's not the truth. And they, like I said, when I saw the article that his wife is that Amanda Carpenter put out to give to you all, and she obviously contacted you. There's been other things and stuff, but they are doing the bare minimum of what they're required to do to notify people about this project. And you can't tell me that's being honest and stuff.
Mm-hmm. And he said that if someone doesn't want, obviously, to relocate, that he's not going to force them out.
Like you want a concrete plant in your backyard? Let me go build one for him in his backyard.
Mm-hmm. I think what he was trying to say was that, your property would be safe, or at least that's the impression that he's trying to give when he's giving that answer.
That's what they're saying now.
Yeah. They did threaten eminent domain with us. that they don't want to go that option, but they have threatened it. And they have told us, in our particular 320 acres, they told us it's vital to the project and they want it no matter what. That they did state that in the meeting on December 20th with their attorneys and our attorney. And
what would be your message, I guess, to the city's trust as this vote is coming up on June 18th?
well, first of all, I think you need to go back and look at your original plan. Like I said, God's not making any more land, and we need farms and stuff. We don't need more industrial plants. I can go around the Oklahoma City now. It may not at this point be clear land and stuff, but I sure bet I could find you 1,000 acres that they could build this mega plant somewhere else and not affect the farming community. That it is just blank fields and that are overgrown and stuff, but this is actually working family farms. Too, they should have been honest and upfront with us instead of, first sending letters saying it was a CE page project, and then now it's this and it's this, and be honest. I mean, come in and say, hey, Panasonic wants to put a plan in here. We'd like to buy your property. What do you think? Instead of being secretive. Again, no honesty, very secretive, and that's the deal. They're not being honest. You want to trust government, you need to be honest with us and up front. We may not like it, and we still will be emotional about it because that's not what we want. But again, be honest. And again, this is Canadian County, and it's not Mustang. I don't know where she's getting Mustang. It is, you're closer to Union City, El Reno, and Yukon than you are, and Oklahoma City, than you are. But this is Canadian County, and I want to support Canadian County.